Growing up in an Asian American household, money wasn't a topic of discussion, but it was an ever present character in our daily lives. There were sacrifices, sure, the kind that make you appreciate every single penny. But beyond that, there was this unspoken wisdom. And there's one secret my parents didn't just tell me, they embodied it every day. And it became the foundation of my own wealth building journey, transforming how I saw money forever. Now, before you click away thinking this is another video about complex financial products or get rich quick schemes, let me stop you right there. This isn't about that. This is about something far more fundamental, a core value, a way of life that countless immigrant families instinctively understand. It's ingrained in their DNA, passed down through generations, often out of necessity. What's amazing is that it's something anyone can adopt and adapt to their own life. It's powerful, it's practical, and it's likely the most impactful and everlasting money lessons I've ever learned. So let's dive into the fundamentals of money that my parents instilled in me. So, what's the secret? It boils down to frugality and resourcefulness, but with a laser focused purpose. It wasn't just about being cheap for the sake of it, hoarding every dollar. No, that's a common misconception. For my parents, every dollar saved had a job. It was earmarked for something bigger. Think about it. They weren't buying the latest gadgets or eating out every night or upgrading their car just because a new model came out. Instead, every meal was cooked at home. My poor mother. Eating out, that was a rare special occasion. And clothes were worn until they literally fell apart and then expertly repaired by my mother, who moonlighted as a seamstress. Broken didn't mean replace, it meant fix. I always wonder how they knew how to do everything. Remember, this was before the internet. I don't know how they survived without YouTube. If I need to do something that I don't know how, I turn to Google and YouTube. How many of you do the same? Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to learn more about money mindset and how you can cultivate your dream life. So I didn't realize it then, but my mom was the ultimate Gen Zer, very eco-friendly and all about sustainability. We recycled, repurposed, and always reduced our waste. Yes, it was a little annoying that I had to wash that glass jar of spaghetti sauce. But, she was ahead of her times. I didn't know it then, but it was the strategic savings. Every no to a small unnecessary expense was a yes to a much larger goal. This mindset creates an incredible compound effect, not just money, but of opportunity. It also taught me how to delay gratification. When my kids are whining for the latest toy, I have to remind them like, hey, when I was your age, if I wanted that baby doll, I had to whine and beg for about a year. And maybe, just maybe, I might get it for Christmas or my birthday. Or maybe not. And so I just laugh because I'm like, that's the level of commitment you have to have. Is that mean? Maybe, but it's also going to teach them that grit and commitment. If they really want it, they have to wait and be patient and actually try to get it. The ultimate flex is knowing that you can live with less. When you know how to live frugally and be resourceful, everything else just seems like icing. This secret naturally leads to the next crucial component of living below your means, not as a temporary phase, but as a consistent lifestyle. This wasn't a diet that you went on for a few weeks. It was the everyday meal plan. There was no keeping up with the Joneses because, to be honest, my parents were probably too focused on our own survival. The focus was internal, on our family's well-being and on our future security. And another lesson stemming directly from that, avoiding debt like the plague. Seriously, consumer debt was viewed as an absolute enemy. Credit cards were viewed as something used to buy things you couldn't afford. And that was a big no-no. Come to think of it, I don't even think my parents had a credit card. They thought that only financially irresponsible people use credit cards, and they're not wrong, I suppose. Mortgages were tolerated because a home was an asset, but even then, the goal was always to pay it down faster. The idea of carrying a balance and owing money was such a source of fear and anxiety for my parents. And it turns out they were right. The freedom from consumer debt creates so much more mental and financial bandwidth, allowing you to actually build wealth instead of constantly playing catch up. Alongside this financial discipline was an unwavering belief in the value of hard work and education. Sometimes, when my oldest one complains about school, I have to remind her that some of us don't get this privilege of going to school. For my parents, education was a luxury and a privilege, something they didn't have access to. So for their kids, it was their top priority. It was the ultimate investment. It was the pathway to better jobs, higher incomes, and more opportunities. Lucky for me, my parents weren't tiger parents. They never pressured me to study hard, but they reminded me that education was the pathway to bigger and better things. Yes, I know in current times that this is debatable, but back then, I just knew from watching my dad work 7 days a week and my mom hustling and sewing moo late into the night while we slept that this was not the life for me. I needed to study hard and get a good job. This taught me that investing in your skills and in your knowledge and in your own human capital is perhaps the most lucrative investment you can ever make. It's the engine that generates the income that you can then save and invest. Now, while much of this sounds like individual effort, there's often a hidden layer to the immigrant money mindset: the power of community and support. For many immigrant families, especially in earlier generations, it wasn't just about individual success, it was about collective uplift. This could mean pooling resources like multiple families buying a house together, or helping siblings with tuition, or sending remittances back home to support extended family. There is a strong sense of obligation and shared destiny. While I adapted this, the underlying principle of recognizing that your own success is often intertwined with those around you and being willing to contribute to that collective well being is incredibly powerful. It fosters resilience and a safety net that often isn't talked about in mainstream finance. So, how did I take these incredibly powerful foundational principles and adapt them for the modern world? Because let's be honest, while extreme frugality is great, simply saving money under your mattress won't make you wealthy today. For me, the adaptation centered on truly being intentional with my money. All those lessons in frugality and resourcefulness paid off while I was living and working in one of the most expensive cities in the country. And since I was such a good saver in my 20s, it helped pay for big life expenses like a wedding or our down payment of our first home. Then I transitioned into making my money work for me through strategic investing. My parents saved for big goals, and I took that same discipline and applied it to investing for even bigger goals. The discipline of living below my means, avoiding consumer debt, and relentlessly pursuing opportunities to increase my income, all those foundational lessons are still there. But instead of just accumulating cash, I eventually learned to leverage the stock market, real estate, and our own business to grow that capital. It's the same core philosophy of delaying gratification and having a purpose for every dollar, but with a contemporary twist that accelerates wealth building dramatically. It's the bridge between their wisdom and today's financial landscape. My biggest takeaway is that if you can manage what you have, that is what lays the foundation for the next step. My parents showed me what was possible even on a low income. You just have to have the vision and the discipline. They took their modest blue collar income and somehow bought the home we lived in and later a second home. To this day, their home now provides rental income for them to live off of in their retirement. So when I look at all that they were able to accomplish, it opens me up to always looking for opportunities and being curious as to how I can reach that next level goal. So, what money lessons did you learn from your family? Share them in the comments below. I love hearing your stories. And this principle, this blend of frugality, hard work, and purposeful savings is incredibly powerful. It's not just about the money, it's about a mindset that fosters resilience and true financial independence. If you're ready to start implementing these savings principles but don't know where to start, watch this next video that pops up on the screen. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more practical wealth building strategies.